Hello, thank you for being here. I'm Hannah Rivera, and today we're going to talk about the shame spiral. Don't allow yourself to get caught up in the vortex of the shame spiral. And if you do find yourself in that shame spiral, slow down and come to a place where you might be able to interrupt it. We're going to talk about what happens when you're in the shame spiral and what you can do to support yourself in those moments. Three things start to happen when shame descends upon a moment in our experience. Number one, body sensations start to feel really overwhelming, which leads to feelings of wanting to run away, maybe wanting to hide, wanting to disappear, to collapse, wanting to punish ourselves, or all of the above. The breath gets shallow and it becomes increasingly difficult to bring ourselves to engage with what we had intended or what we were trying to do or what we were thinking about when the shame spiral descended. The second thing that happens when the shame starts to kind of come on to us is that as the body constricts and maybe even generates feelings of panic, maybe around the idea of not being good enough, not being capable to do what we were trying to do or to think through what we were trying to think through. What happens when that constriction comes in is that the flood of negative thoughts comes in. Flashes of images or words or memories of everything we've ever done wrong or every way we've ever been wrong associated with what we were just trying to do or what we were just trying to think through drop in. Sometimes the anxious and ashamed mind even pulls in thoughts or memories or stories from other topics that aren't even related to what the shame initially kind of grabbed onto to start its spiral. And the third thing that tends to happen once this shame spiral starts moving within us is that it's like suddenly the world or the room we're in or the circumstance at hand or the thing we'd like to get done starts to feel very big and even overbearing. And we might start to feel smaller and smaller until we wonder if we could even be swallowed by this impending darkness and doom that feels like it's caused by our apparent shame and lack of worthiness within the moment we're in, within the circumstance we're in, within what we're trying to do. This is where we sometimes find ourselves procrastinating, avoiding, or putting things off for days, weeks, months, hours, seconds, but it's that sense of, I don't know if I can do this, and maybe it's better if I just don't even try. This initiation into the spiral can happen very fast. It can even happen within the span of just a few seconds. So it is really crucial that we practice recognizing this looping pattern and how we experience it within us. Like, how does this shame spiral experience, this shame spiral pattern that I notice within myself show up in me? If I can better understand that, then I can learn how to interrupt the shame spiral and take myself out of it. So here are some practical ways that you can support yourself in the moment that you start to recognize and feel that shame expanding its grip on your body. Number one, slow down. One of the main ways that shame gets us to walk into its web is through speed of sensation, speed of thought, and speed of the emotional flooding that happens. When we slow down, we are able to remain in the place of the observer. So we are able to say, I see that I'm starting to feel shame arise within me versus having the inner experience of I am bad, I am incapable, I am unworthy, I can't do this. Number two, breathe as fully as you can. You want to really use your awareness to direct your mind to imagine that you're sending your breath to every corner and crevice of your body. You can see your breath moving from your core and reaching your fingertips, reaching your toes, reaching the crown of your head. When we breathe like this, it supports us in creating more capacity within which we can then feel the shame. Because let's face it, we can't make the shame go away. It's going to have to be felt. But we can really create more space and capacity to feel it within. It's like we draw a big, soft bubble around the shame rather than us being squashed underneath it. So this creation of more capacity and space that we do using our breath is really, really powerful. And number three, we want to ground. Feel your feet on the ground. Get low to the ground. You can experiment with what feels most appropriate for you in each specific moment. Chances are it will be different each time. So it's good to have kind of a few grounding options that you can check in with in the moments when the shame spirals come on. Sometimes we might continue to move through space by walking and feeling our feet on the ground. This helps by keeping us present, but also it keeps us in motion toward where we want to go. So rather than kind of stopping and freezing and just letting the shame spiral descend upon us and take over, we stay in motion and we stay grounded by really feeling our feet touching the ground. Sometimes we might be super, super overwhelmed by the shame spiral, and we do really need to come to a full stop. In those moments, it can be really powerful to like get low to the ground as low as you can. I like to get on my yoga mat or just on the floor, sit on the floor or lie down and allow the floor or the earth. I like to think of it as allowing the earth to literally hold you, right? So feeling that your body is held by the floor or the earth. Engaging in these ways with yourself will help you interrupt that brute force of the oncoming shame spiral. Then the next opportunity after we interrupt the shame spiral is to move through it. So feeling into how we move through it somatically is super, super powerful. You can imagine and feel that you crawl through, maybe you walk through, maybe you jump through, maybe you fly through, maybe you slide through, maybe you feel your higher self pulling you through to the other side. There is no right or wrong. You really just want to feel into your body and ask yourself, okay, how am I going to move through this? Now that I've interrupted this spiral, how am I going to move through it to a different kind of emotional experience? So when we have our grounding underneath us and our breath fully distributed throughout the body, you can then decide, consider, maybe I'm going to do the thing anyway. So the thing that kind of started this whole shame spiral. Hey, now that I've got my breath underneath me, now that I feel really grounded, now that I'm more present with what's going on and I've created more capacity to feel this shame, could I maybe do the thing anyway? It will likely still feel challenging and maybe even still really scary or terrifying in the body. And with more grounding, with more breath underneath you, with more presence in the way you're moving, you might have the opportunity to move through it and do the thing anyway, to send that message of, even when I have these scary feelings, I can still do this and show up for myself. And then you can add in supportive self-talk, right? So you can name the oncoming shame spiral. You can say to yourself, I see that this is a potential shame spiral, and I choose not to believe what shame says about me right now. I choose instead to believe in myself and know that I can do this thing anyway. Even if it's been hard for me in the past, I am capable of showing up for myself in this moment and shifting my relationship with how I engage. And why am I capable? Because I just made sure to have my breath throughout my body. I made sure to have my grounding underneath me. And I got curious about how I can move through this. Then the hardest part, which requires the most breath, the most focus on grounding, and extremely generous amounts of self-compassion, is doing the thing. Doing the thing, whatever it was that kind of started this shame spiral. So maybe like a really simple example is, sometimes we get super overwhelmed with life, and maybe we haven't cleaned out our closet in a really long time, and we open it up and feelings of shame come up because we're like, everyone else cleans out their closets. That's what we think, right? And it must be something wrong with me. So maybe it's time, with all of this self-compassion, with the grounding, with the breath throughout your whole body, to do the thing, to clean out the closet. And guess what? You can do it imperfectly. You can do it partially. You can do it knowing that you're going to have to redo it tomorrow because the way you did it today was from this place. But just show up for yourself and do the thing. Show yourself that you choose to believe in your worthiness over this shame and the stories it tells you. Remember, you are inherently worthy. You are inherently worthy. I choose to believe in my worthiness over this shame. Show yourself that no matter who tries to keep you down, even when it's those voices from within, those shame voices or those critical voices or those anxious voices, show yourself that no matter what, you will be the one to carry yourself through. After you do the thing, create a really soft and loving landing spot for yourself. Think sensory kindness and support, lighting, smells, sounds, textures, tastes, anything that you know helps you work with your sensory experience and feel loved, feel safe, feel supported, feel comfy and cozy. Cultivating this type of conscious relationship with shame allows us to thaw that giant iceberg that the shame has created within us over time. Repetition, consistency, gentleness, forgiveness, compassion, grace, and love are the attitudes that will see you through. So when the shame spiral pops up in your experience, slow down, get your breath underneath you, ground, give yourself a lot of generous self-compassion and love, and then feel your way through and choose to believe in your worthiness while you do the thing.